Thanks for that, Danny. Well, suicide is still the second leading cause of death for youth in Arkansas, but a new program could help, and when it's needed most.
Yeah, this program is helping struggling teens by putting other teens behind a support text line. 5 News reporter Claire Everbach joining us live with more on this program. Hey, Claire.
Good morning, Joe. Tiffany. For many teens in the natural state, reaching out for help doesn't start with a phone call, but it starts with a text. The Arkansas Crisis Center tells me that since they launched their 988 text line last year, they received more texts within the first 6 weeks than they did for an entire year on the phone. Right now, there are 30 high school students in our area training to be part of the inaugural cohort of the Arkansas Teen Connect program. It's Arkansas's first peer-to-peer youth support text line. Over the next few months, these students will complete training in active listening, mental health literacy, suicide prevention, communication, crisis recognition, and peer support. Built by teens for teens, Arkansas Teen Connect trains high school students to provide confidential text-based support to other young people experiencing loneliness or emotional distress.
The Arkansas Crisis Center is just something that is so critical that Arkansas needs, and the people of Arkansas really do need it. Like, you know, you think of like doctors as like people that like help each other, but like these are heroes as well.
I think this is a good way for people who usually wouldn't reach out, who are teens and who are struggling, to have somebody to talk to, and prevent more people from ending up in bad places and worse situations.
The group of teens training this summer, like the ones you just saw, will begin taking text messages in the fall. And in September, a new cohort of students will begin training. So if you are interested in volunteering, you can find more information about the Arkansas Crisis Center on our website, 5newsonline.com. Live in Bentonville, covering news where you live, Claire Everbach, 5 News.
Thanks for that, Claire. Well, for people in rural areas, finding a doctor can be tough.
Yeah, now One Arkansas Institute is working to change that by training more physicians and keeping them in the state. It's a new report from the Heartland Whole Health Institute, which shows that a third of people living in a healthcare shortage area, with some driving as far as 50 miles for healthcare.
Arkansas consistently ranks at the bottom for obesity, diabetes, and hypertension. We need physicians to help support Arkansans in managing those chronic conditions. We at the Alice Walton School of Medicine are creating a platform and a pathway, a pipeline to graduate additional physicians, but we need to retain those physicians across the state.
Well, leaders hope the initiative will help improve access to care in those communities that need it most.
The U of A Board of Trustees has approved a naming rights agreement for Razorback Stadium. Starting in the 2027 football season, Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium will be renamed Community America Razorback Stadium. U of A Athletic Director Hunter Yurachek claims that this 13-year partnership with Community America Credit Union will bolster the athletic department's budget, specifically with NIL funds for the football team.
We have to make sure that we're using every revenue stream that we can. There's a carve out for NIL. We'll take some of the money from that contract and we'll use it for true NIL opportunities.
However, one Razorback alum and Fayetteville native says the current name of the stadium has never been a problem, and she's not a fan of the new name.
It has absolutely nothing to do with the University of Arkansas. I think you should probably pick a name that actually correlates to the school that you're going to, that it's representing.
The new name will take effect in July of next year.
Well, Bentonville Public Schools has approved an expansion plan for Bentonville West High School. The district says that the campus needs more space to keep up with student growth. Now, this week, the board approved a project that would create more space for the fine arts and athletics program. It would add more storage space for band students, sports programs, alongside a brand new weight room and training room. The project is coming with a near $11 million price tag.
There comes a point at which you can't add more football players. You can't make your band bigger. At some point, it has to reach capacity on that. And we've taken care of the academic space with some of the Bentonville Healthcare campus.
Well, the athletic field house will also get a new film room and equipment room. In other news, the U.S. is preparing to send search teams after powerful back-to-back earthquakes rocked Venezuela.
At least 164 people are believed to be dead, with at least 1,000 others injured. Jared Hill has the latest.
Parts of Venezuela are in ruins after powerful twin earthquakes rocked the South American country Wednesday evening. The first, a 7.2 magnitude. The second, less than a minute later, 7.5. Panic and widespread damage swept across the capital city of Caracas, where people fled buildings before they crumbled. Like a horror movie, one woman described it. Interim President Delcy Rodriguez calling it a serious event with grave consequences. The epicenter of the back-to-back quakes was about 100 miles west of Caracas. Dozens have been reported dead. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced the U.S. is sending search and rescue teams, medical resources, and humanitarian assistance to Venezuela immediately.
It was like a minute and a half. The entire house shaking. And
after living through this disaster, Rafael Punceles says he's concerned about the long-term impacts on the country.
It worries me that with the economy as it is, this is going to be a big hit to our economy, because probably there will be a lot of damage.
Rescue crews are now combing through the rubble of collapsed buildings, searching for signs of life, sometimes finding moments to applaud in the midst of the devastation. All as families and neighbors wait for answers in a new, uncertain future. Jared Hill, CBS News.